What's going on, everyone? So, the Lakers are still active in trying to find moves in trades. They appear to be really trying hard to find three-team deals. So, there was reports from Jake Fisher, talked about it in a video earlier today, in which the Lakers are working with the Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets on a potential three-team deal. There was further reports that came out later today that said that the Chicago Bulls are actively working with the Lakers to find a third team via a sign and trade to help facilitate Demar Derozan, right? One of the big things is that the Lakers are trying to get as impactful of a trade as possible, right? They want, yes, a DeMar DeRozan, but they know they need more than just DeMar if they're going to contend and be real, like, championship level team compared to all these other teams that are getting better, right? So another team that has emerged is the Portland Trailblazers. So the Lakers are still in talks and are expected to put like a real formal offer for Jerami Grant. There's just been kind of negotiations and conversations. They are supposed to put together an actual, like, hey, here's a proposal and potentially add a third team. So it is very possible that they could work it out to where you have a Chicago Bulls, Portland Trailblazers, Los Angeles Lakers three-team deal in which the Lakers end up landing DeMar DeRozan and Jerami Grant. It seems to be, kind of based on the information, the angle in which the Lakers are trying to go. Now, they still could end up going with the Nets because supposedly the Nets really want D'Angelo Russell. Maybe they even expand this even further, right? Maybe they do like a move for Jerami Grant, depending on how much DeMar DeRozan signs for, right? Maybe they work something out with that. Or maybe, like you're sending D'Lo to, Portland, and Portland is sending D'Lo to the Nets so that way they can maybe get something else that they want. So it is possible that they could expand and facilitate the trade. Problem with stuff like that is it becomes very challenging, right? Because it's hard enough to just do a one-for-one trade. Now you start adding a third or potentially fourth team. Now, things just get really convoluted at times. And then you think you have a deal done, everyone's happy, and then as you're submitting the papers, it's like, second thought, I think I want more. And it just, now you got to start all over, right? So the idea, again, is to try to grab multiple pieces. Even Rob Pelinka earlier today, because they're having all of their introductories to, Bronny James and Dalton Connect. So even like Rob Pelinka talked about how, like, hey, look, we are trying to find trades. We're finding an active trade. Everyone's dealing with the new CBA, which no one really wants to hear. It's like, come on, we're seeing all these other people make all these other moves. Can you do something? He said, though, look, for the right moves, for the right trades, we're willing to sell everything, right? We'll trade the 2 future firsts. We'll do whatever we have to find the right trade. Question is, can they find the right trade? We do right now have a little monkey wrench in our pursuit of DeMar DeRozan. The Miami Heat have entered the conversation. Miami is actively trying to pursue DeMar DeRozan as well. Supposedly, there's talks that Pat Riley might have already ruined it, though, because he offered him basically the vet minimum. Now, they are supposedly trying to work out sign and trades also, and that they may be interested in working out a sign and trade with Chicago to land DeMar DeRozan. So it is something at least worth mentioning. But there's also several reports that were like, Pat Riley basically ruined that. So I don't know. But to me, it's like the Lakers, if you got to pick a lane here, right? If we're going to go get DeMar, push your chips and get DeMar. DeMar either wants to come or he doesn't. All right, it's simple. Do you want to be here? If you don't, then we need to go look elsewhere. We just missed out on Clay. We can't risk waiting around for you, and now we're in trouble because you decide to go to Miami or something. If you want to be here, we'll do whatever we have to bring you here. If you don't want to be here, then fine, and we'll pivot and go find something else. And it's simple. And then you can figure it out and go to Miami or whatever. And, if we end up not needing you anymore, then we don't need you anymore. If, it doesn't work out with Miami and we still need you, well, then maybe we'll work something out. But right now, we got to pivot in another direction, right? So that's the thing. At some point, you got to start putting pressure on these guys. I know you're waiting around and you're trying to play this form, but it's like, how badly do you want to be a Laker or not? You went on a press tour for like a year on, like, while you were with Chicago, talking about how badly you wanted to be a Laker and how, like, it was your lifelong dream and you thought you were going to Lakers, and, you know, you even went on vacation because you were so excited and wanted to clear your head before you go to LA and all this stuff, and then you were upset that Russell Westbrook, and so maybe he is looking at it kind of like, you know, like he feels slighted, but again, that was years ago, and you could have had other options and other opportunities to come, right? But you wanted to stay where you wanted to stay, and you didn't want to force trade when the Lakers were trying to trade for you, you know, the last 2 years, right? So to me, it's like the Lakers, they got to figure out a path here. But I like the idea of going and getting Jerami Grant, right? Adding Jerami Grant, talking to Portland. They're working hard to try to get Jerami Grant from Portland. My one concern with Jerami Grant is his commitment. If he's willing to come in and really buy in and be committed, especially on both sides of the basketball, beautiful. Let's go. Because he is ideal. He is basically Rui Hachimura and Jared Vanderbilt meshed. You know, he's not as good defensively as Jared. Like, Jared Vanderbilt's just, like, relentless, right? There are questions about Jerami Grant and his motor at times, right? And he can kind of slack off and, you know, at times doesn't look committed, which is why I use the word committed. Like, he looks just kind of like he has better things to do at times. So, to me, if he can really lock down, and focus and hone in to, like, hey, I have a real opportunity here to win a championship, right? We're contending for a championship. I'm playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis and potentially DeMar DeRozan, right? Let's go, right? Like, let's go win a chip here. Because, look, Jerami Grant on the surface makes all the sense in the world. All of it, right? He's a legit 3-and-D guy, shoot 40%, but he also could just go get a bucket. Right, he's a guy that can put the ball on the deck, hit the mid-range, you know, use his size, length, and strength to get to the basket. It's a guy that gets you 20-plus a game. You add in DeMar DeRozan, there's another guy that gets you 20-plus a game. Right, you'd be good defensively. You still got to work out your point guard situation, whether, you know, they probably would go with Austin Reeves, but I don't like the idea of, like, Reeves at the point. For one, I just don't think Reeves can handle it. Two, you know, I don't like a backcourt of, like, Reeves and DeMar. Like, I'm not a super fan of that. Like, on the defensive side, I'd almost rather go Christie. Like, have, like, Max Christie, DeMar DeRozan, Jerami Grant, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Because Jerami Grant, or DeMar DeRozan, he could be your initiator. He's done it pretty much everywhere. And with the Spurs, I mean, San Antonio and Greg Popovich used to have him play the point at times, right? Like, that's just like the initiator and get the offense running. Especially JJ, it sounds like he wants to run like this free-flowing offense to where it's not just like, you know, LeBron dominating the basketball and getting guys going. No, it's like, you know, you just have the initiator that comes in, gets your guys in actions, and then boom, that's it. They're everything starts to flow. So I do really like that idea of, like, okay, work out to where you get a Jerami Grant, get a DeMar DeRozan, right? DeMar DeRozan and Jerami Grant are probably both going to be cheap. You probably won't have to sell the farm to go get them. DeMar DeRozan, you're probably only giving up, you know, a couple seconds. I mean, you have to give players to match salaries and stuff, but I'm talking about just, like, you know, to, you know, basically like asset-wise, like pick-wise. I don't think you'd have to give up more than, you know, a second or 2 seconds, because, again, all they're doing is facilitating it. They're going to lose him for nothing. And then you go to the Jerami Grant side of things, go get him. There doesn't seem to be many going after him too heavily. And on top of that, he's overpaid. And so, you know, maybe you have to give up a first. Maybe you're giving up a first in a couple seconds, or a first in, like, a pick swap, and then you still may end up having a first to go do something else. And then you still could potentially have your mid-level exception, in which you could use that to go bring in, like, a Tyus Jones, or, you know, I'd still look to bring in Miles Bridges, right? Can you convince Miles Bridges to come and then just go big, right? Because you could have LeBron basically be your pseudo point guard, right? LeBron could, I mean, he could still operate out the floor, but you could have him. Imagine, like, DeMar, Bridges, Grant, LeBron, and AD. Man. that would be tough, because now you're talking, you have size, you have versatility, you have defense, you have shooting, you have 5 guys that could go drop 20. I mean, you got like a bigger Celtics team at that point. But anyway, I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But it is looking like, more likely than not, whatever trade ends up getting done is probably going to be a 3-team deal. Whether it's Chicago or it's the Blazers and maybe even get expanded into a 4-team deal, or the other alternative is maybe it's even like 2 3-team deals. Maybe it's like Chicago, the Nets, and the Lakers, and then it's like the Blazers, the Lakers, and the Jazz are a team that has been heavily linked to the Lakers, and they're like kind of working stuff out with all these guys. So maybe there are these like multi-team type moves that the Lakers are shaping up to create. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. As long as something gets done, right? It's like we're all just like waiting around anxiously for something, anything. It's like, come on, can something, come on. It's like, just do something, right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like the idea of the Lakers trying to position to get both Jerami Grant and Demar Derozan? Do you think, no, just go get Demar, or just go get Grant, or do you have other things in mind? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.